We humans are a creative bunch. We just keep coming up with awesome inventions and gadgets that make life easier or just more interesting. Would you like to know which inventions are so life-changing that they should be implemented everywhere? Keep watching this video to find out what those inventions are. You are watching 10 Town, and in today's video, we'll be taking a look at 10 of the most genius inventions which should be implemented everywhere, as they can change lives of everyone for the better. But before we hop into the details, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share this video with your friends. Number 1. Robot petting, robo-petting. Petting a living animal has long been known to lower blood pressure and release a flood of mood-lifting endorphins. But for various reasons, you're at work, you're in a hospital, or your spouse is allergic to dogs, you can't always have a pet around you to improve your mental health. So, researchers at the University of British Columbia have created something called Smart Fur. It is weird looking, essentially just a few inches of faux fur, but its sensors allow it to mimic the reaction of a live animal, whether you give it a nervous scratch or a slow, calm rub. Creepy? Yeah, but effective. Number 2. The Constant Gardener. Rather than spray water, fertilizer, and pesticides across their fields, many industrial farms are taking a more targeted approach, using wireless soil sensors and GPS-enabled equipment to determine which spots need the most attention. Soon, you'll be able to use similar technology in your front yard. The home landscaping company Toro already has a line of consumer-grade moisture sensors that turn on the sprinkler system when your lawn is dry. It's a good start, but the Field Intelligence Lab at MIT is working to produce tiny, inexpensive sensors that you scatter across your lawn by the dozens, and that will track everything from bug infestations to mineral deficiencies. Then they'll tell you what to do about it. 3 spritzes of pesticide to the tomato plants stat. Number 3. Reduce, reuse, masticate. It is depressing to think how much food packaging there is in your kitchen right now. All those juice cartons, water bottles, and ice cream containers. But what if you could eat them? We have got to package in the same way as nature does, according to Harvard bioengineer named David Edwards. And so, he's devised a way to convert foods into shell-like containers and films that he calls Wikicells. Yogurt will be encased in a strawberry pouch, for instance. You could wash and eat the packaging, like the skin of an apple, or you could toss it, like the peel of an orange, since it's biodegradable. The newly wrapped ice cream and yogurt will be available first in the Lab store in Paris, with juice and tea coming within the next year or 2. Number 4. Better-looking movies. A movie projector flashes 24 images across the screen each second to create the illusion of motion, kind of like a flipbook. The directors James Cameron and Peter Jackson propose kicking that number up to 48 or even 60 frames per second. This will change the way we experience movies. Colors will appear brighter, images sharper, motion smoother. Stephen Poster, president of the International Cinematographers Guild, says the effect can be almost holographic in quality. Proponents say it is what 3D was supposed to feel like, a kind of immersive reality. Still, the image quality takes some getting used to. At an industry conference where Jackson previewed scenes featuring higher frame rate hobbits, critics complained that the hyperclarity made the scenes look like live television rather than cinema. It will doubtless take some time to get used to. When sound came out, a lot of people said this will last about 3 years, says cinema studies professor Tom Gunning of the University of Chicago. Instead, it became totally dominant and wiped silent film off the map. They plan to do the same with this technology too. Number 5. The Congestion Killer. Traffic jams can form out of the simplest things. One driver gets too close to another and has to brake, as does the driver behind and the driver behind him. Pretty soon, the first driver has sent a stop-and-go shockwave down the highway. One driving simulator study found that nearly half the time one vehicle passed another, the lead vehicle had a faster average speed. All this leads to highway turbulence, which is why many traffic modelers see Adaptive Cruise Control, ACC, which automatically maintains a set distance behind a car and the vehicle in front of it, as the key to congestion relief. Simulations have found that if some 20% of vehicles on a highway were equipped with advanced ACC, certain jams could be avoided simply through harmonizing speeds and smoother driver reactions. One study shows that even a highway that is running at peak capacity has only 4.5% of its surface area occupied. More sophisticated adaptive cruise control systems could presumably fit more cars on the road. When a quarter of the vehicles on a simulated highway had ACC, cumulative travel time dropped by 37.5%. And in another simulation, giving at least a quarter of the car's ACC cut traffic delays by up to 20%. Number 6. Teeth that think. Scientists at Princeton and Tufts are working on a super-thin tooth sensor, a kind of temporary tattoo that sends an alert when it detects bacteria associated with plaque buildup, cavities, or infection. It could also notify your dentist, adding an extra layer of social pressure to make an appointment. The sensor may have wide-ranging use. The researchers have already used it to identify bacteria in saliva associated with stomach ulcers and cancers. While the sensor won't last long on the surface of a well-brushed and flossed tooth, Michael McAlpine, the project's leader, says that the sensor will be inexpensive enough that you can replace them daily. Number 7. Sleep mining. Wearing a small sensor on your head, at home while you sleep, could be the key to diagnosing diseases early and assessing overall health. This tech, according to Dr. Philip Lowe, the founder of a medical technology firm called NeuroVigil, enables us to look for faint signals of, say, schizophrenia, Parkinson's, depression, or Alzheimer's in the brain, even though there may be no obvious symptoms. Thus far, Lowe's device has found a number of applications, evaluating children with autism, studying the efficiency of trial-phase drugs, and assessing traumatic brain injuries on soldiers. Currently, Lowe is working on a newer version of the device, which will be the size of a quarter and will transmit brain scans directly to smartphones and tablet computers. We're using sleep, Lowe says, as the gateway to the brain. Number 8. Blood test for depression. Eva Redeye, a professor at Northwestern's Feinberg School of Medicine, published a paper that identified molecules in the blood that correlated to major depression in a small group of teenagers. Ridge Diagnostics has also started to roll out a test analyzing 10 biomarkers linked to depression in adults. Part of the reason there's a stigma for mental illness, including depression, is that people think it's only in their heads, Redeye says. As long as there's no measurable, objective sign, we're going to stay in that mindset of just snap out of it. Blood tests will take mental illness out of the squishy realm of feelings, and as Lana Williams, CEO of Ridge Diagnostics, says, they'll help people understand it's not their fault. Number 9. A new kind of fire extinguisher. You need a lot of water to put out a sizable blaze, and the chemicals used in fire extinguishers can be toxic. Halons, the most effective chemical fire suppressant, create holes in the ozone layer. So, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency at the Pentagon has developed a handheld wand that snuffs out fires without chemicals. According to the program's manager, Dr. Matt Goodman, an electric field destabilizes the flame's underlying structure rather than blanketing the fire to smother it. Eventually, the technology could be used to create escape routes or extinguish fires without damaging sensitive equipment nearby. Number 10. Michelin star TV dinners. Frozen food may soon be on par with anything you can get at a 3-star restaurant. Sous vide, a process in which food is heated over a very long period in a low-temperature water bath, has been used in high-end restaurants for more than a decade. But the once rarefied technique is becoming mass market. Cuisine Solutions, the company that pioneered sous vide, now supplies food to grocery stores and the U.S. military. Your local Costco or Wegmans may sell perfectly cooked sous vide lamb shanks, osso buco, or turkey roulade. Unlike most meals in the freezer aisle, sous vide food can be reheated in a pot of boiling water and still tastes as if it were just prepared. And because sous vide makes it almost impossible to overcook food, it's perfect for the home cook. Fortunately, sous vide machines are becoming more affordable. It's like the microwave was 30 years ago, according to Keller Says, an early proponent of this idea. If you like this video, then make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos in the future. Also, hit the bell icon to stay up to date and be the first one to watch our latest videos.